Hey, hey, hey. Hello, hello, hello. Oh, hey. Hey, Miss Bethany. Nice to see you. Nice to see you. So, I was just jumping on because I'm using a new platform today. And I'm solo, so I was just getting ahead of myself and getting on here. It's a wonderful day. Wonderful day. Let's invite a few people. Why don't we? Come on, let's just invite a few people. See who we can get to come play with us today. Whoops, I invited you, Miss Bethany. Sorry, you're already here. It's all good. It's all good. It really is all good. You know, at the end of the day, it's all about what we do, right? At the end of the day, it's all about what we do. So, yeah, I'm just going through here and inviting a few folks. And let's see. Hey there, Mr. Mafoos in the house. Miss Bonita. How are you today, Miss Nunez? All right. So we're getting there. We're getting there. So we just want to give everybody a couple minutes to get here. Hey, Miss Dawn. Girl, you and I need to hop on the phone. It's been a hot minute. Yes, Lord, it's been a hot minute. We have not had an interaction. I'm missing my cup full of Dawn, so gonna make a point of that today. Make a point of that today. So, yeah. So, hello, hello, hello. Hey, how y'all doing? Today is Wednesday. Yes, 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 it is. And today is the 20th of June. The 20th of June. My God, where's this month going, y'all? Hey, Dane. It is just crazy. So, Joe's at jury duty today, and I'm going to run solo, which is perfectly fine. You guys know I love you guys, whether I'm with Joe or a special guest or by myself or whatever's going on. It's all good. Today, we're going to talk about running appointments. Today, we are going to talk about running appointments. So, uh, all right, Miss Dawn. Y'all be careful driving out there to Arkansas. You must be taking the crazy monkey home. Yep, yep, yep. Tomorrow's first day of summer. So it looks like it's 2 minutes after the hour. We will wait till our normal 3 minutes after the hour. Y'all all know I love the number three. So we're going to wait till 3 minutes after the hour. We're going to get started. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Hello, Fernando Brown. Thank you for joining us. Fernando Brown. I love that name. Fernando. Fernando, are you do you have some Latin background, buddy? Oh, going to see grandma. Cool. Even better. Even better. Even better. So, all right. By my clock, it is 3 minutes after the hour, and we are here. So, welcome, Facebook. Welcome, everybody. Today's a great day. Yesterday was an awesome day. Tomorrow's going to be an even better day. So it's a great day to be great. Let's be great together. Hey, Ellie, how are you? And so today, what are we going to talk about today? We are going to talk about something really, really important today, because I want to digress for just a second and say that, social media, interacting, all of these things that we're doing together, all these things that we're learning together, we do because we love one another and we get in there and we get it done. However, for those of you all, excuse me, that are in cryptogenics, or even looking at cryptogenics or don't even know what cryptogenics is, let me just tell you that we're in our soft launch, and that we're going to be actually kicking off before too long. Okay, so we're getting closer and closer and closer to to the kickoff time. And so what that means is, ladies and gentlemen, is that all this stuff that you're learning in social media in the month of June with Joe and I, you guys are going to be putting that stuff to good use real soon. Okay. And if you're not with us, you're probably already implementing that stuff in whatever you're doing, right, in your everyday life as well as in your business life. So today, what we're going to talk about is something that I feel like is really, really important. Okay. And, we always want to be authentic. We always want to be transparent. We always want to be our most real self, right? Okay. But we also want to be our best self. Okay. So we want to be not overly professional, because we don't want to come off too businessy or too I don't know what the word I'm looking for is, but fake, I guess. All right. But you also don't want to come across as someone who's never done something before. Okay. So that's what this is all about. That's what this whole month of June has been about. And so today we're going to talk specifically about how to run an appointment. Okay. How to run an appointment. And, what does that look like? Where does that come from? What is an appointment? Okay, first of all, let's define an appointment, all right? Because, ladies and gentlemen, I got to tell you, if you're calling me and you've never spoke to the person that you're about to put me on the phone with, that's not considered an appointment, okay, in my book. If that happens, when we get off the phone, I'm going to call you back and you and I are going to have a conversation, because that's not how it works. Okay. So let's define an appointment. An appointment is a meeting. Okay. And that meeting can be face-to-face. It could be hotel. It could be a three-way. It could be conference call. It could be a Zoom. It could be, it could be a presentation, right? So I just named off 6 different ways. Okay. That you can set an appointment. Okay. So an appointment is all of those things, or any of those things. Okay. And so what does a real appointment look like? What should have happened prior to someone coming on board and doing the work that we do when we come on board as a third party? So what you should have done, what your responsibility to have done is, number one, you want to have struck interest. Okay. You want to have struck interest with your possibility, because a person that you're talking to goes through tongue-tied. Better need some more coffee, y'all. Oh my goodness. A person that you're talking to, before I get to them, they're going to go through 3 stages. They're going to go through possibility. Okay. They're going to go, no, I'm sorry. Let me stop. They're going to go through suspect, possibility, prospect. Okay. So what is a suspect? Suspect is someone that you'd like to share your business with, that you think that person might actually make a good business partner with you, and or would really love to use the product that you have, right? So suspect. All right. So you should have qualified your suspect and promoted them by sorting them into what? A possibility. Okay. And so no one should ever talk to, yeah, that's a better way to put it. No one should ever be talking to a suspect. Okay. At very least, we should be talking to possibilities. Okay. And depending on your expertise, depending on how long you've been in the business, depending on how long you've been in marketing or direct sales, you may or may not be able to run the possibility appointment by yourself. And that's okay, because you need to get 3 to 5 of those under your belt with someone that knows what they're doing, so that you feel comfortable and so that you feel confident enough to do the possibilities part, right? So Ideally, when you get that third person involved is when you actually have a prospect. Okay. And so what should you do to get them from possibility to prospect? Well, the first thing you're going to do is you're going to get them to review a little bit of information. And you can do that numerous ways. Okay. Hey, Jasmine, nice to see you. So you can do that numerous ways. You can, hey, Steve-O, I see you, buddy. You can direct them to a website link. You can direct them to a recorded presentation. You can direct them to a live presentation on a Zoom where they don't have to speak or be recognized or go on camera. You can direct them to a conference call. A lot of companies have sizzle calls and sizzle videos. You can use those, okay? So it really doesn't matter how you get them from suspect to possibility and possibility to prospect, okay? But before you can upgrade them from possibility to prospect, what you need to do is make sure that they viewed the information, right? So you're going to have a conversation with them. What'd you like? What'd you like best? If you were going to tell somebody about it, what would you tell them? You know, that's good ways to know. That's checking to make sure that they viewed and reviewed the information that you supplied without asking them a million questions, right? So it's like a little sneaky way to do it, right? And so then what are you going to do? You're going to ask them. You're going to ask their permission. So I'm going to pick on Steve-O, since he was the last one to come in the room. He's at the bottom of my list right there. So Steve, I've just talked to you and you're my possibility. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to ask you, you know, what did you like best? And you're going to tell me. And then I'm going to ask you, well, if you were telling someone about what you saw, what would you tell them? And you're going to tell me. And then me, as the person interested in having you in the business, I'm going to ask you, Steve, may I, hear what I said, may I get someone that's been in the business a little longer than I have, a business partner of mine? Can I get you and him and I on a conversation call, on a Zoom or a three-way, please? May I do that to get you some more information? May I do that to get you some more information? Now, the cool thing about that is, number one, most people don't use the word may I much anymore. So they're going to be like, that person just asked me if they could have a call with me. Oh my goodness. Aloha, Miss Kathy. They just asked me and they used the words may I. Oh my God. You know, how can I say no to may I? I mean, how do you say no to may I? Hello? You don't. Okay? So you're shoe-inning your appointment. You're shoe-inning your appointment. Hey, dang. Then what you're going to do is, if I'm the person that you normally go to for your three ways or whatever, you're already going to have time on your calendar that's going to say, you know, this is blocked out for me, this is blocked out for me, this is blocked out for me. So we'll, for the sake of saying and for time's sake, we'll just use the example of maybe you have 3 different days, 2 different hours on each one of those days that I'm available to work with you and do 3 ways and prospect calls with you. Okay. And so you lock that person in, right? You lock that person in, and then you repeat the question, you know, did you write it down? Do you have our appointment? You know, you just want to verify. You don't want to badger to death anybody, but you just want to make sure that they're following along with you, right? Because this will cut down on your no-shows, y'all. This is going to help you get past the no-shows, right? And we all have them. Raise your hands. We've all had them. And it's okay. But there are ways to cut those down and to avoid them almost 100%. So, hey, Cedric. So what I want you to do is confirm the appointment and have them repeat the date and time back to you. Okay? That lets you know that they have the appointment, most definitely. And then you're going to close the call by letting them know that you're going to be in touch with me or Steve or Kathy or whoever your 3-way person is, right? And you're going to make that appointment happen for them. All right. So that's the first part of making the appointment, of running the appointment. Okay. Now you've been taken through the proper way to go from suspect to possibility to prospect. Okay. Suspect, possibility, prospect. So now what you're going to do is it's the day of the appointment. Okay. So you're going to send me, right? You're going to send me. I'm the person doing the three-way. And we're going to say Kathy's running the appointment and she's bringing Steve-O. So Kathy's going to send me a message on my phone or on Facebook or something. She's going to make sure that she reminds me that we have an appointment today in 30 minutes. And then because Kathy and I like to go that extra step, not only with one another, but with all of our people, we might actually drop the link and or the telephone number to where the appointment is in that message so that the person that's doing your edification and your verification, right, is not bogged down with trying to find where is that at, okay? And so they're able to just touch something and be there and it's done. So then what's going to happen is a proper appointment starts 10 minutes early. Why? Because Kathy's going to meet me at our said location 10 minutes before. And when Kathy and I meet, Kathy's going to say, okay, Kris, thank you for taking the time out today to do this appointment for me. I really appreciate it. I'm talking to Steve-O, and Steve-O is a tiger. Like, he has got a fire in him that is unstoppable. He's really interested. He has seen our website. He has seen the free lessons that Cryptogenics has to offer, and he's very excited about learning how to become successful in the crypto space. Okay, so Kathy is going to inform me, right, of everything that's going on. So then what I might ask Kathy is, well, Kathy, what's his hot button? Tell me something about him that I can make a connection with. And she's going to probably tell me, and I'm using this as an example, I don't know this to be true, so don't anybody repeat it and don't say Kris said so. But she's going to tell me that, Steve was in a couple things last year, and he's got some Bitcoin and Bitcoin hell, right? He's got it in jail, and he's really determined to make up not only the money that he has in jail, but to prove to everybody that cryptocurrency is something that he can sink his teeth into and change his family's life. Okay, that's exactly what I need, right? So let's get to the appointment time, okay? So the appointment time is probably going to be about 2 minutes or so early. Let's say the appointment time is 2 o'clock, so about 2 minutes till Steve's going to jump on that call because Steve is eager. Steve is ready to go. And remember that you knocked out most of the ability for Steve to not show up. He kind of committed, so his integrity is on the line now if he doesn't show up, and he's going to be thought of as a really ugly, bad person because he didn't do the thing he needed to do, right? So, excuse me. So Steve-O is going to jump on that call about 2 minutes early, and I'm going to be quiet. As a matter of fact, I'm going to be muted, okay, at this point. I'm going to be muted. And Kathy's going to jump right in. And as the host, as the moderator, as the inviter for this call, Kathy's going to set the call up. Now, again, I told you we were going to show you exactly how to run an appointment the right way, right? So Kathy's going to set the call up, and she's going to, hey, Steve, this is Kathy. I really appreciate you meeting us. I see you a couple minutes early. That's fantastic. Kris is getting his things together. I just want to let you know that Kris has been really successful in the last year in the crypto world. He's been in the network marketing industry for 28 plus years. He's had a lot of successes. He also has had a few failures. And, I think the failures are really what structured and helped Kris become the mentor that he is today. So I hope that you and Kris make a good connection. By that point, right, I'm going to have unmuted, and we're going to be right on time. We're going to be hitting that 2 o'clock time point. Bam, we're on it, right? And so at that point, I'm going to come on and I'm going to say, oh, Thank you, Kathy. That was beautiful. I really appreciate that introduction. I'm not sure I live up to it, but I appreciate it, and I thank you. And Steve, what I really want to do is thank you. I want to thank you and applaud you right now for taking time out of your busy day and your busy schedule to meet Kathy and I, and to allow us to help you take that journey that you want to go on. Okay, so what have I just done? I have created instant rapport with Steve, right? And I've thanked him. Like, I've put him up on a pedestal, and Kathy too. So there's a lot of admiration going on here, right? There's a lot of teamwork going on here. Do you see kind of how this works? And then what you need to do is you need to be quiet and allow me to continue. So what I might do at that point is say to Steve, Steve, Kathy was telling me before you and I got to meet that you were in the industry for, a few months, and you ran into a few brick walls, and you've got some Bitcoin tied up, and, but you really are committed, and that this is going to change your family's lives, right? Hey, Christy, I didn't see you pop in, girl. Nice to see you, Diva. So, so I'm going to be telling Steve what Kathy told me, right? So I'm going to make that connection. I'm going to say, I feel as if though I need to share with you that you're not by yourself with that loss from last year. A lot of us, even though we were all comparing notes and helping one another, we all still fell into a few of those traps last year. So you're not alone, buddy. I've got 7.5 Bitcoin in Bitcoin hell myself. So, I don't know if that helps you any, but what I can tell you is that what we have before us is the ability to make up all that and way more. Does that sound like something that you might be interested in? Notice I'm involving him now in the conversation. And so Steve's going to come back and say, oh, yeah, Kris, if there was any way possible for me to get any of my money back that I have in jail, I'd really be appreciative, right? And so now Steve and I have an instant rapport. Okay, we have a really good foundation for getting started. And so then what I'm going to probably do is I'm going to run the appointment, but I'm going to run the appointment differently than most people will run the appointment. I'm going to let Steve do 80% of the talking. Oh my God, who knew, right? Like the 80-20 rule, most networkers get that all wrong, okay? What I'm going to tell you is that 80% of your check comes from 20% of the work, okay? And this is kind of how it goes. Steve, I'm going to ask Steve a couple questions. I'm going to let Steve kind of tell me about himself. I'm going to ask Steve, what caught his interest. The first thing I want to know about Steve is what caught his interest about cryptocurrency. Like, I need to make that connection, right? And so I'm going to ask him that question, and I'm just going to shut up. And I'm going to let him talk as long as he wants to talk, because at this point, he's running the appointment. Steve. Yeah, I said Steve, the prospect. The prospect is running the appointment. And so because he's running the appointment, we're on his time schedule now, right? Because like I said, I was only going to take a couple minutes of time. I'm sorry about that, guys. It is a dadpreneur after all. I have my son and his best friend today, and they're playing, and it's 111 heat index outside. So they're all over the house, and I apologize. But at any rate, we're going to continue. So, we're going to let Steve run that appointment. And if we're quiet long enough, Steve's going to give us everything we need to know. Steve is going to close himself. Steve is going to give us the very closing statement that we're going to use if we're just quiet and listen. So, I ran an appointment similar to this. I'm going to pause here for just a second. I ran an appointment similar to this a few weeks ago with a person, and they were completely confused because they expected me to jump on the call and spend 30 minutes talking to their prospect, and I didn't. Okay, and what turned out, and it did turn out this way, y'all. I'm not giving any names or anything like that, but I am going to give you some information. It turned out that the person that was the prospect, what we had really wasn't for them. It just wasn't for them. It wasn't what they were looking for. And so I politely gave them a way out, a way to say, it's okay. Right. And so after the call, the person I was doing the call for, they immediately called me back and they were like, close them and why didn't you spend more time talking to them? And I was like, were you on the same call that I was on? Because what I was hearing was they were not really interested in cryptocurrency at all. Like, they didn't understand decentralization. They thought blockchain was stupid. They thought that the blockchain and cryptocurrency was mainly used for human trafficking and drugs. And, I don't know about you, but that all was very negative to me. And, I don't want to deal with that. I don't need that in my life. I'm not even desperate enough to take their money to put them in the business just to get a paycheck. No, that was not a good prospect. And so, they were a little sore at me for a hot minute, and it's okay, and then they came back to me later and they said, it was a couple days, they had to have a couple days to cool off, and come back and they said, what you said on the call after the call really impacted me. It really opened my eyes to let me know that I'm not looking for everybody. Like, just because they have a credit card in their hand doesn't mean I want them in my business. And I was like, exactly. Perfect. And this is different than a lot of people are going to tell you. And this works for me. Okay. This works for me, y'all. So, you can try it if you like. If it works for you, I'd love to hear that. If it doesn't work for you, that's fine. I'd love to hear that too. I'm not telling you that you have to do it this way, but I personally, excuse me, when I'm prospecting, when I am on the hunt, as I like to call it, for quality people, I interview my people. Okay. It's an interview process. I am interviewing these people. Why? Because I have to go to work for this person. Do I like them? If we go to Hawaii together and it's supposed to be a 2-day event and a volcano goes off and we end up staying there for 30 days, am I going to throw that person in the live volcano, or are we both going to make it back, stateside to mainland together and still like each other? You follow where I'm going with that? It's important, y'all, that you understand that this is a process, and that this process is the type of process that allows you the opportunity to know who you're working with. Okay. This is not just about your paycheck. You got to get past that. All right. And I know it's hard in the beginning because you join something because you're in love with it. And you join something because you want to make money. But at the end of the day, it is not about putting everyone in your business. Been there, done that. It causes a lot of headaches. It causes a lot of drama. It causes a lot of he said, she said. It causes a lot of multiple meetings because this group can't meet with this group, and this group doesn't like this group, and this leader is going to take this leader's head off. No. I can't do that. I can't do that. As my grandmother would say, ay Dios mío, right? Ay Dios mío. I can't do it. I just can't do it. And I can't do it because I'm 49 years old. This puppy has been down that road, right? Like, I that's a puppy's job. This old dog ain't got time for that, okay? So I choose to work with people that are similarly, and I don't mean they have to be a carbon copy or a mirror image of me and the other people that I work with, but they got to have some things in common, right? They got to be positive. They got to be upbeat. They got to be coachable and teachable. They got to be reachable. They've got to be willing to learn and be molded. They've got to be in a space where they're willing to change their lives. Because this is what I know about network marketing, okay? There are 2 days that are super, super important. I never understood this till about, 10 years ago, maybe. I don't know. Kathy and I were working on something. It might have been TLR, sorry. But whatever it was, we were working on something, and it hit me like a ton of bricks. And I used to hear it all the time. And that was that there are 2 days, the day you get into network marketing and the day that network marketing gets into you. And so, what I know about network marketing is once you start having success, once you start putting the right people in your business, once you start entertaining the right folks with the positivity and things of that nature, then network marketing is going to get into you. And when it gets into you, it changes your entire life. And I'm not talking about just the landscape, right? Like your home or the vehicle you drive or the people you're associating with. I'm talking about everything, your foundation, your fundamentals, your core beliefs, the very depths of your being change because you see the power behind someone who knew nothing that could take a little bit of information and change their whole life and change uh, generations in their families' lives. That is crazy. That is awesome. That is beyond belief. That is the coolest thing ever, right? And so that's what I look for when I'm looking for people. I'm looking for people that, are going to make a story. They're going to have a story. It may not be today, it may not be this year, but they're going to have a story. When we get done traveling, they're going to have a story. And I'm going to be able to look at that story and go, wow, just look at the growth that person had over these years that we went through. So, okay, completing the conversation on how to run a proper appointment. So now you've brought a prospect, you've set it up, you've edified the person that's doing your three-way, right? You've built them up, you've built up your prospect. Your three-way person has done the same in reverse. And now it's time to collect a decision. I mean, we're just there. We're there, right? So, and Kathy has done several of these calls with me, so she knows what. Hang on one second. Fellas, y'all are going to have to go in the other room. Jerry, in the other room, okay? Brantley, in the other room. I'm on the phone call, okay? Shh. So, see, I told you guys, it's dadpreneur at its finest, okay? So, because Kathy and I have run appointments before, she knows what to expect. And so I'm going to go right for it. And I'm just going to say, hey, Steve, we've given you a lot of information. I know a lot of times it's a little bit overwhelming. But what I just need to know right now is, are you ready to change your life? Or are you okay with where you're at? And that's kind of how I close, literally, like almost word for word, right? And most people say, Kris, you were so gentle. You were so easy. You were this, you were that. You don't have to beat people over the head like Bam Bam to put them in your business, right? It's a simple question. So Steve's either going to say, yes, Kris, Kathy, I am super excited. This is exactly what I've been looking for. I would have never made the mistakes I made last year had I had this education. And I think this is going to set myself and my family up for success for generations to come. So that's one option, right? That's one way this call could end. Okay. So hold on to that one for a minute. And then the other one is this. Steve comes back and says, Kris, Kathy, you guys did a fine job at giving me the information. And, I really thought that cryptocurrency was what I was looking for. But, now I'm beginning to wonder if it really is. And maybe that's just not for me. And, I don't think this is just right for me right now. Now, what most people that have you on a three-way for, what they're going to expect you to do at that point is they're going to expect me as the person that's in charge of the three-way, right, to try to change Steve's mind. I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to do it. What I'm going to say is, Steve, I completely respect your decision. And, we have to meet people where they're at. And sometimes the people we meet aren't ready for the things that we have, and it's just not the right time. So I'm going to tell you what we're going to do. Kathy's going to send you a link. If you change your mind in the future or the timing is better, go ahead and follow the link, sign up, and then get back with us, and we'll be glad to get your business off to a running start. Now, I didn't burn the bridge with Steve, okay? I didn't beat Steve over the head. I didn't tell him how stupid he was for not seeing our opportunity. I didn't waste a lot of time, okay? Because here's what I've learned in network marketing. All the time I'm spending with Steve, who's not interested, is time I could be spending with someone else, probably 2 or 3 other people that really are interested, and we could be getting them going in the time that Steve's taken to figure out if this is really what he wants to do. Now, is this the best approach? In my opinion, it absolutely is the best approach. Why? I'm going to tell you. It's the best approach because, number one, I didn't alienate Steve, okay? I didn't down Steve. I didn't make him feel bad for telling me no. As a matter of fact, I graciously accepted his no and thanked him, okay? But what I did do was I left the door open with Steve. Now, 50% of these people that you leave the door open for, y'all, they're going to follow back through. It just wasn't right for them at that moment. Maybe they had kids running around in the house like I do today, and they couldn't really concentrate on what they were hearing. Maybe their wife is telling them, you've done too many things, and everything you've done, you failed at, and this is not for you, and you're not going to do it, okay? You don't know what's going on in the background. All you can do is take the no and say thank you, leave the door open, and hope they come back. Now, you're probably sitting there wondering, well, what's a reasonable amount of time to let Steve marinate on that, right? Like, can I touch Steve again? Can I knock on his door again? Well, sure you can, okay? No just means, no means no, not right now, okay? This is me again. And guys, when I'm talking to you all, I am being 100% authentic. Kathy can vouch for that. And I love that she's on my calls a lot because it makes me feel good to know that she's hearing the things that I'm saying because I'm representing myself, my company, and our company too. Okay. And she knows that what I'm doing is what needs to be done. She knows that I'm doing it right. So here's what makes me feel good about this, right? Now, this is me. No just means he's not interested today. It means he had kids running all around the house. It means something didn't click in his brain. It means him and his wife are at odds. It's not a good time. Hey, Valerie, good to see you, darling. It's not a good time for him to take $300 out of their savings account or their budget. No just means no for the moment, okay? Unless they tell me this, listen carefully. If Steve says, Kris, Kathy, this is the worst thing I have ever seen. I don't ever want you to call me again. I never want to be on your list. This is crazy. I don't even know why you contacted me about this. That's a no. That is a final no for me, okay? Because now Steve's taken it to a different level. Steve has given me a reason to understand that we are not going to see eye to eye, and he's insulted me. He's insulted Kathy, who thought highly of him because she brought him to me, okay? So now you've alienated us, and now you have promoted yourself to a ultimate no, okay? Like, I'm not going to talk to you again about this or anything else. Like, I'm done. I'm just done. And so, when I talk to prospects, and I don't mind talking to prospects at all. I don't mind running your 3-way calls. I don't mind presenting. But I just felt like we needed to have this conversation today. And I took the opportunity that since Joe wasn't here, that I could kind of run the whole call and get the entire thing out start to finish. And you guys be able to put a picture together. Because if you call Kris, if you expect Kris to do your 3-way or to help you, then you need to know what to expect, okay? So let's just recap really quickly, okay? There are three different names that we give our prospect, okay? They are first, what? A possibility, okay? No, they're not a possibility. I'm sorry. I always get that wrong. I think we should really change the names. But anyway, they're suspect first. They're suspect. Okay. So when they're a suspect, you got to do a little homework. You got to figure out if they fit the mold, right? Then you have to promote them from suspect to prospect. Okay. Or possibility. And then, and then what you need to do is promote them to prospect. Okay. Then you get them on the three-way. And so it looks like we've got some chatter going on. I just want to pause for a second. You can't force people to join. However, if they refuse, the person hosting the call can't waste their time. That's true, Mafuz. Also, Kris and Kathy are, and when I I tell people that when you're ready, here's my name and number and link. Yeah, Kathy, I agree with that. No, I wouldn't give them a link either, because they're not qualified at that point, Mafuz. You haven't taken them from suspect to prospect. You skipped possibility, okay? You skipped possibility and you gave them your link, and what's going to happen is they're going to go to the link. This is most people's mentality. I'm glad you put that in there, and thanks, Kathy, for answering him too. I'm really glad you put that in there, because what happens with most people when they're looking at something new, it's just human nature, okay? Anytime they see something new, the first thing they want to do is find out what's wrong with it, okay? They want to shoot holes in it, basically. And so if they've got your link, the first thing they're going to do is go to your link and see who it is and what it is that you're representing. And then they're going to get on that good old thing called Google that's going to scare the hell out of them, because they're going to Google, whatever the opportunity or the name of the company is or whatever. And God only knows what's out there. I mean, for real, I don't ever do that with companies that I work with. I'm just going to be honest. I never do that. If there's something out there about a company that I work with, I'm oblivious. Because here's why I'm oblivious. I'm oblivious because it doesn't matter. It absolutely makes no difference to Kris. Why? Because Kris has belief, Kris has faith, Kris has commitment, Kris has conviction, Kris has a business, right? And so as long as Kris has those 5 things, whatever anybody else wants to say is irrelevant. It's irrelevant, because I'm going to make mine. I'm going to get my money, okay? And if I'm not getting my money, then I'm going to start looking to figure out why I'm not getting my money, right? If I'm not getting my money, I'm not doing something right. Or in some of the things I've done in the past, the company's changed something or something happened. So I've got to research to find out why, if I've got all these 5 things, I'm not getting my bank. I need my bank, right? So don't give them your link. Don't ever give them your link, okay? I did mention in this just a few minutes ago, I did mention to maybe give them your link and tell them to sign up and then get back with you. But that's after they've said no. They already know what it is. They know who it is. And really, that's a qualification thing for me, okay? And that's why I give them the link there, is because if you're gonna come back to me after you've said no, then I need you to have a little skin in the game, okay? So notice that I said, here's the link, sign up, then get back with us, and we'll be glad to help you get your business catapulted, right? So they've got to show me they've got some skin in the game, because they've told me no one time, okay? And I didn't get mad. I didn't take the opportunity away. But when it's time for them to come back and they want me to mentor them, or they want me to take their hand and help them, they're going to have some of this in the game, okay? And so that's when I would say it's okay to give a link. And I think Kathy would probably agree with that as well. So, Kathy, if you disagree, it's fine to disagree. I love you. If you've got a difference of opinion, put that in the comments. I'd love to hear it. But I think we're pretty much on the same page on that, unless something's changed in the last 3 years that I'm not unaware of. But here's the thing, y'all. Okay, so you've got your 3 things, right? You've got your suspect, your possibility, and your prospect. Then you've set up your call, right? You've got on your call 10 minutes early so that you can brief the person that's going to be doing the running of the call. Now, notice I said I was going to run the call. I didn't say that I was going to talk through the whole call, right? Right? You feel me? Remember, 80-20 rule. You want your prospect to do 80% of the talking on that first connection. Yeah, because we need to know why they're looking at whatever it is they're looking at. We need to know why they're thinking about doing whatever it is they're thinking about doing. We need to know why they're willing to take $300, $500, $1,000 out of their bank account and invest it in something that is going to better them, right? So we need to know that. We need them to tell us. And then your third person party comes in, they ask a few questions, and they get to that point to where you're taking them to the next level. Now, sometimes, y'all, you can do that in the same call. It depends, okay? And this is where I want to wrap this up. It depends on how much time your prospect has. Because if the prospect has enough time, right, you can ask them. So let's just say that, excuse me, let's just say that Steve-O says to Kathy and I that it's perfect, it's everything he's looking for, it's where he wants to go, and he just can't wait to get some more information. And then that would be where because I'm running the call, right, I would ask Kathy, what's your schedule looking like? Do you have something in the very near future that you need to hop on? And I give her the opportunity to tell me she's free or not free, right? Now, if she's not free, if she's got another call to run, that's where I can make the decision. And I ask Kathy, okay, if I'm thinking about running the rest of the call on my own, I'm going to say, Kathy, I know that you and Steve have a relationship, and I respect that, and I would never want to step on your toes. I have a few minutes. If Steve has a few minutes, Steve, what does the rest of your afternoon look like? May I give you some more information? May I give you some more information? And then if Steve says yes, then I'm going to go back to Kathy and say, Kathy, is it okay with you if I continue with this call? Now, what am I doing? Kathy's the one that's going to sponsor Steve, not me. I can't step all over Kathy's toes and make her irrelevant. Okay, I don't ever want to do that in Steve's eyes. Never, ever. Okay, and you making $100 or whatever, you making a paycheck is not more important than lineage and respect for your business partners. Okay, so I'm going to clear it with Kathy. Now, Kathy and I have a really good relationship, and Kathy would be completely down with that. And what Kathy would probably say is, Steve, if you're okay with Kris giving you some more information, I have another call to run. And I can check back in as soon as I finish with that call. And if you guys are still here, great. And if you're not, then I'll follow up with you in a little while. Is that okay with you? And now we've left it up to Steve, okay? Because Kathy and Steve have the relationship. You never want to drive a wedge between Kathy and Steve. Never, ever, 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 ever. Because Kathy and Steve are going to have a working relationship for a very long time. Okay, because when I get done giving him the rest of the information, Steve's going to sign up, and what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be sending Kathy a message saying, check your back office, Steve logged in. Okay, because I'm that confident in what I do that I'm 100% sure that when Steve gave me permission to give him more information, Steve is in. He's already closed himself. The only thing I have to do is wait for the closing comment to come from him and then deliver it back to him. That's all I have to do. So this has been how you run a proper call, an appointment, whatever you want to call it. This is how you run an appointment. I don't know if any of you have ever been told this. I don't know if any of you have ever been taught this. I don't know if any of you are doing this, okay? But if you're working with me or you're working with Kathy, and I'll go even one step further than that. If you're working with any of the pinnacle leaders or any of the core leaders, they're going to expect, holla Albert, they're going to expect you to run the appointment exactly the way I put it in this call today. Exactly. So again, if you're working with a pinnacle or you're working with a core 5 member or a combination thereof, they're going to expect that these calls be run this way. So I would circulate this. This call today was a really good call. I would definitely get the recording of this call when I put it up. I would circulate it in my teams. I would make it part of their inauguration, if you will. I would make sure that they understood this without a shadow of a doubt. Because when I started this call, if you remember, I told you we're in soft launch. Okay, we're about to launch, y'all. All right. We do not have time for silly. We do not have time for crazy. We do not have time for unprofessional. We have all the time in the world for building relationships, but there's a right and a wrong way to do it. And there's an expectation that needs to be filled in order for these things to happen. And if you're coming to us and want us to put these people in your business, which we absolutely, positively, without a shadow of a doubt, 100% can and will do for you, okay? I have no doubt in my ability. None whatsoever. I have none in any of the pinnacles, and I have none in any of the core 5. So I know if I take somebody to any of those people, if I take a prospect to them, they're going in my business unless they are just absolutely not interested, okay? And that's always a possibility. You don't know that. It's a 50-50 shot. Now, if you've done your work well, if you've done your homework well and set up your call well, then what I will say is that 9 times out of 10, you're going to have a new person in your business, okay? So I love you guys. I love this platform. I got the bumps. I love it so much. See the bumps? I got the bumps. I love communicating with you all. This is the best platform, and I was super scared. I was so scared to do these lives. I don't even know why. But now that I've done them and now that I'm comfortable, I just go with this stuff, and I just pull it out. And this is all stuff that's in the head, it's in the heart, it's in the body. And I want to help you guys. If I didn't, I wouldn't tell you, right? Like, if I didn't care how you ran your calls, I didn't care if you made an ass out of yourself by improperly doing a call and getting a core 5 member or another pinnacle on the line and embarrassing yourself, I wouldn't say a word, not a word. I'd be like, whatever. That's them. Let them learn. They're the new kid on the block. They got to earn their way. I don't want you to go through the stuff that I went through. I made myself look like, a complete ass when I started in network marketing. I did everything wrong that could possibly be wrong. And I learned the hard way, and I spent a lot of money. Y'all, when I say the school of hard knocks, you got no idea. Okay? If it could be done wrong, I did it wrong 3 times. I mean, I'm just being honest. Okay? But there's an easier way. There's a better way. Okay? And that's what I want for all of you all. I want you all to have the easier way. I want you to have the better way. I want you to have the best way. And, thank you, Kathy, for that. Kathy, you've known me a long time, and you know that I have passion. And it's taken me a little bit of time to find that passion. Again, thank you for what you've done for me, because you allowed me to find passion. Again, I am passionate. I'm passionate because I'm helping other people, but I'm also helping my family. I'm passionate because I believe that I am changing people's lives. I'm passionate because I'm working in an industry that I know without a shadow of a doubt is the only industry in the world, bar none, that you can be as educated as it comes, or got out of school in the 5th grade, and you can still change your life with this. That is really, really what it's about, and network marketing is about. And so I do have a passion for network marketing. I have the passion for the change that it can bring. I don't have a passion for the ugly and the ripoffs and the things that people do and take advantage of other people. I'm not about that. I'm not going to have it in my team. I'm not going to have it in my company. If I see it, I'm going to squash it. If you can't change it, we'll get rid of you. That's just how it is, okay? And I believe in putting all that on the chopping block now, because I haven't done that in the past, and it's caused me headaches, and it's caused me family problems, and it's caused me relationship problems, and I'm just not going to have it. I'm just not going to have it anymore. I'm done. So when you come into this world with us, we will love you. We will care for you. We will hold you. We will hold your hand. We will coddle you, but we will not treat you like a baby. We will give you the information and expect you to use it. And if you don't use it and get the results, that's on you. Now, it's 2:53. We've had 53 minutes of love today. God almighty, 53 minutes of love on how to run an appointment. And I think, that this was a really, really valuable lesson today. I think it was a really valuable life. And Again, I'm going to tell you, you guys need to circulate this through your teams, especially if they are expecting Pinnacles and or Core 5 to run their appointments for them, which we're all willing to do. We're all getting ready to do. We're all on the sidelines waiting for you guys to say, I need some help. You need to do it right. Okay? Please do it correctly for yourselves. Okay? Because if you bring us somebody that's a prospect and they're still on the suspect level, we're going to say you didn't do your work. If they're still on the possibilities level, we're going to say, okay, what made you think that we needed to get together and give them more information? Because then we're going to take it as a learning opportunity for you. Okay, because really, in all honesty, we should never be on a Zoom. We should never be on a call. We should never be in any type of three-way meeting that it's not a true prospect. Okay, not a true prospect. But that being said, KGX has some great things going on. I don't know if you're keeping in touch with our blog. If you're not keeping in touch with the blog, you're shooting yourself in the foot. All the news comes out there first, guys. Second, we have presentations tonight and tomorrow night at 9 p.m. 9 p.m. KGXglobal.info. These guys and gals that do these presentations, they know their stuff. They can answer the questions. They're bar none some of the best in the business. You need to drive your prospects to these calls. I'm not just telling you this for my health. I'm telling you, if you want your business to grow, you got to get people on these calls, okay? Today we have a 3 o'clock. Today we have a 3 o'clock. Tomorrow we have a 3 o'clock. I'm telling you, you need to get people to these calls. Same location, kgxglobal.info. If you don't drive your people to these calls, don't expect things to happen. This is not a magical business. It's not Puff the Magic Dragon and you sit in your chair and you sign up and you pay your $300 and you take your classes and suddenly you have this huge business and organization and you're raking in millions of dollars. That is not how it works. You got to put yourself to work before we can put ourselves to work. And if your business isn't growing, it's your fault, not mine. So go to work. That's how I'm going to end the call today. Love all of you all. Have a great, great day. It's really hot here. If you're in that heat index, please look after yourself. Take multiple breaks. Hydrate. Get in the shade if you can. Most of all, see you tomorrow at 2. We love you. Thank you all. Have a great day, and we'll see you soon. Have a great day, everyone.